Have you ever driven alone at night and catch yourself glancing in the rearview mirror, wondering if the night is hiding something more than just the road behind you? Not too long ago, there I was, cruising down Route 66, deep in the heart of nowhere. My plan? Just motor west from Chicago to LA, travel my way, take the highway that's the best, and get my kicks on Route 66. It was late and the road was desolate. I'd been driving for hours, only the hum of my car and the occasional distant whisper of the wind keep me company. Dean Martin's floated from the radio, a perfect soundtrack to serenade my wandering thoughts. I couldn't help but think of my ex-wife, the one I still missed despite everything. She drifted into my mind like a shadow on those empty back roads, appearing in the quiet corners of my memory, lingering by the rivers of my thoughts. For hours, she stayed there, gentle on my mind, haunting me with pleasant memories. I tried to shake her loose, to be like carefree travelers from another era, just chasing kicks on Route 66, hoping the road could wash away what the heart couldn't. But here's the thing, something about that night felt off. Maybe it was the way the moon hung heavy and low in the sky, casting long shadows across the eerie road. I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that I wasn't alone. I was exhausted. I'd been behind the wheel for so long that the edges of reality were starting to blur. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Then, as if on cue, the radio started crackling. At first, I thought it was just the bad reception you get on these deserted highways. But then static cleared, and there it was, the Eagles. Just as those words came through, I saw it. It was almost like the hotel appeared out of nowhere, glowing faintly against the dark, empty landscape. It sat on a hill just off the road, an old, eerie building with a faded neon sign blinking the word Vacancy. My exhaustion hit hard, and I knew I couldn't keep driving. I had to stop. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you want more eerie stories. As I pulled up to the hotel, the first thing I noticed was that there were no other cars in the lot. I figured it was late, maybe people were already asleep, but it still felt wrong. The air was thick with this oppressive silence. No wind, no crickets, nothing. I walked into the lobby, and the place was exactly how you'd imagine it, frozen in time. Faded wallpaper, old leather armchairs, and a heavy, musty smell that clung to everything. Something was off. The air felt heavy, almost electric, like it was charged with more than just the dust and age of the place. It was as if the walls themselves were breathing, whispering in a language I couldn't understand. The faintest hint of perfume lingered in the air, old, like something from decades past, but there was no one else around. I could hear soft laughter in the distance, echoing down the long hallway, but it vanished as soon as I looked. The desk clerk was sitting there. He looked pale, as if the life had been drained from him, and his eyes, sunken and distant, seemed to look through me rather than at me. "Welcome," he said in a voice that was little more than a whisper, raspy and hollow. We get few visitors these days. Something about the way he said it sent a chill down my spine. I filled out the registration card. He handed me a rusty key attached to an old brass keychain. "Room 13, he said, that thin smile never leaving his face. "Best view in the house." I wasn't thrilled about staying in room 13, but at this point, I didn't care. I just wanted to sleep. I took the key and headed down the long, dimly lit hallway, my footsteps echoing off the walls. The floor creaked with every step, like the building was alive, shifting beneath my feet. And as I walked, I swore I felt eyes on me, like I wasn't alone. The lyrics from echoed in my mind. It was as if the hotel held on to those who came before, and maybe they never left. I finally found my room. I opened the door, and it was just odd. The furniture was old, really old, like 1940s or 50s style, and there was this heavy, stale air hanging over everything. And there was something I couldn't quite put my finger on. It felt like someone had been there just moments before I arrived. The bed looked too neat, the mirror on the wall was cracked, and the closet was slightly ajar. I told myself it was just my tired mind playing tricks, but I couldn't help but glance at that closet again, and again. Eventually, I forced myself into bed and turned off the light, trying to ignore the uneasy feeling gnawing at me. Just as I was about to drift off, there was a sound, a faint scratching noise coming from the closet. My heart froze. I tried to convince myself I hadn't heard it, but then it came again. I sat up, staring at the closet, which now seemed slightly more open than before. I wanted to get up to check, but I couldn't move. I was paralyzed with this overwhelming sense of dread. Then, all at once, the door swung open. Nothing. There was nothing inside. I exhaled, feeling foolish. But just as I was about to settle back down, I heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, right outside my door. My heart raced as the footsteps stopped and there was a soft knock. I froze. Then the doorknob started to turn. Suddenly, the radio in my room crackled to life, blaring again. The volume surged, the words echoed. I jumped out of bed, yanked the door open, and the hallway was empty. But the footsteps, they kept going, growing fainter, as if whoever or whatever was walking away. I didn't wait around. I grabbed my keys and bolted for the reception. I got there. The clerk was gone. No sign of anyone. The place looked different. Dustier, darker, like it had been abandoned for years. The faint scent of that perfume still lingered, mixing with the musky air. I ran out to my car, the engine sputtering to life just as I slammed the door shut. I peeled out of there, heading back to the highway. As I glanced in my rearview mirror, I saw it, faint but unmistakable. The hotel, standing on the hill, watching me. And just when I thought I was safe, my radio crackled again, playing I haven't driven on Route 66 since. But every now and then I wonder, if I'd stayed, would I still be here? Don't forget to subscribe for more chilling stories and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, don't forget to click on the playlist up there in the top left corner to watch more terrifying tales. Who knows what might be lurking out there next time?